Good day, Reed here. Thanks for joining me for my Orchestra Farm walkabout. Now what's today? August 3rd, I guess, 2025. And I've just been away for a week. I was off having a family reunion with my brothers and their families and my parents back in Massachusetts. Great to be out there and be with all of them. It's been a long time since we've done that, and so the amount of change and growth and presence that everyone has is kind of incredible. So I haven't been here in almost a week. It's actually not exactly a work day. I just did a short job for a client and actually came here to harvest some blueberries. And it's interesting when I'm with my family, I try to just be as present as possible and not thinking too much. But in retrospect, I get to think a lot. Now let's just look at this. So the old raspberries have had their day. The pecan is, it's got to be closing in on 18 feet there. The hickory across the way, I can see that a bit. Now I'm hoping that I'll have a golden raspberry here, although I don't really see one. There are a few more raspberries left. We're moving into blackberries. I think you can probably see a bunch in there. Hard to really know what my screen's looking at. But the importance of family for me is something I tend not to underrate. And this notion of just having that time together. So yeah, no one has strung up the tomatoes in here, and it is just a jungle. Nor have they been pruned. And a lot changes across time. People, I've changed a bunch, and it's so interesting to notice the differences between communicating over the phone or the rare video call and then whatever's happening in person. And just realizing, because I live so far away from everybody. Now, when I left, I was told that there were some tomatoes in here that were ripening. I would have thought this space is really ripening. You can see it's a lot more cared for from the other space, but it still needs a lot of work. I really want this place to be a berry patch and then nut trees interspersed. Oh yes, this is great. Berries. Here are the elderberries. They are like, this is great. Maybe another week away from starting to be like gangbusters. But a berry patch with mixed nuts, because the nuts will be coming into their own, as most of the berries are finishing up. We'll see if that ever happens. And that noticing of like, more like, who is everybody and who am I around everybody, and who do we become when we're around these people that we, had. Look at all those blueberries, our sibling, our parent dynamics. And with all that, how to pause. To let some of that stuff fall away so that way we can be who we are now. And one of the things I had going on a personal level was trying to meditate every day and realizing that my sitting meditation was not happening. I had to do somewhat more active meditations. I kept it to mostly walking meditations, and that made it good, or observing. I was really fortunate. We were basically on the Atlantic on a bay, and so getting to be present with the water is just really fabulous. And one of the days I got out on a paddle with both one brother and then both brothers and the youngest wife as well. And that was super lovely. I love getting on the water. And those little meditations, as I finally got my rhythm with it, really made a big difference in my own mental space to, I happen to be the eldest brother, not just fall into that rhythm, which I felt like made the whole thing a lot better. Now mind you, not being any of the other people, they might not have noticed that. Maybe it didn't feel like that at all. Maybe I was exactly playing in to that role set at times from their unique perspectives of everything. And a recognition of, because of that was certainly with my parents. There's aspects where I'm sure that's true. But all in all, I thought the trip went really well. It's great to see my niece and nephew and witness them playing with my kids. So all the cousins playing together and getting along so well. And the age ranges are like 14's the oldest, 3 is the youngest. So it's 3, 5, 9, 12, 14. And it was great. So I'm so thankful that we were able to make that happen. It's my busy time of year right now, work-wise, and these are so good. Thank you so much, blackberries. And having that gratitude for everybody coming out and making the most of the time together is something that we're all going to take with us in our life. And I'm curious, whether you're close or far from your families, how do you make time for them? And don't get me wrong, some of us have families that maybe we have to be distant from because it's not healthy. I'm sorry if that's the case for you, because I know that is true for some. But in that case, who are the people in your life that feel like family? Because sometimes that can be more important. And the notion of making time and space to be with them, whether at a distance or in close proximity, it's one of the most important things we have. That's my impression anyway. What's yours? Again, you can go to my website. I want to wrap up with a little noticing. I do my morning tea session with my wife, and I've got a free tea ritual guide for you, so you can enjoy that practice too and have more presence and more being in the world and of it and slowing down. So feel free to grab that. It's for free on my website, bendingreeds.com. I'm going to be giving it a complete makeover this August, so maybe by the time this video is out, maybe before. Anyway, with that, have too much fun.